Hello everyone, it's the God Center with Matthew. Today we're going to be back in the New Testament, and we're going to be in the book of James. Weird thing about this is that I was reading in one thing and I didn't like it, and then it ain't that I didn't like it, it's just I didn't feel it this morning, and I said to myself, well, I said, Book of James is my favorite chapter or favorite book. There's only 5 chapters in it. I said I did them all but 5. So I'm gonna go to 5, and guess what? 5 actually brings up Job. So this isn't by purpose. This is by God's will. So I'm gonna read. We're gonna read out verse. We're going to start with verse 1, chapter 5. Come now, you rich, weep and howl for your miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be witness against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. You have heaped up treasures in the last days. Indeed, the wages of the laborers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, cry out, and the cries of the reapers has reached the ears of the Lord of Sabbath. You have lived on the earth in pleasure and luxury, and have fattened your hearts, and in the day of slaughter you have condemned. You have murdered the just. He does not resist you. So Jesus is talking about it, like I think Danny was talking about. It's not bad to be rich or accumulate wealth, but to hold it to do it in order, and if you had to hurt people and mismanage the business to hurt other people, to where you make so much money but the people working under you starving, there's some companies out there that makes crazy amounts of money, and but their employees barely able to survive. I ain't gonna mention none of them, but there are several of them out there, and y'all know there are several businesses. So the people that's in charge, that's making these big bonuses, that's what the Lord's talking about here. People that's hurting people in order to make more money. They're making people suffer. Because people need jobs. People need jobs, and they'll take the job. And they have to work the job in order to provide for their family, but maybe the job could pay more money, but you're holding it back to where you can store more riches for yourself. That's more or less what's going on here. Is if you own a business or something, you need to appreciate the people that work on it, that helps the business run, because without even the lowest person on the totem pole, the business ain't running properly. You know what I'm saying? I know I work in the kitchen, so if I don't have dishwashers, then how am I going to get clean plates to cook, or clean dishes to cook with, and how am I going to have clean plates to serve the customers? So it all boils down to treating people right. Especially if you're this is talking about basically the business owners right here are people that have employees under them directly, that they have control over their pay. Sometimes businesses can't pay that much. Sometimes businesses can't, but it's talking about the people that's able to, this giving people less than what they deserve out of the pie. So we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be greedy and taking more than what we need. So I'm going to verse 7. Therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, waiting patiently for it until it receives the early and later rain. You also be patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. So right here he's talking about being patient on things. He said, you know, you waiting on the fruit or the vegetables or whatever is growing. But the farmer, he's talking about the farmer. You know, he plants these seeds and it takes a while for it to grow. Well, that's the same thing we do. Like what I'm doing right now is I'm planting seeds in people, you know, of Jesus Christ and the repentance and of the baptism. And maybe I've only had one since I've been doing these videos for over a year, and then I did them for like a year, one other point in my life. And I've only had one person have me baptize them, so that's neither here nor there. But that's what's going on. Is I've only had one person that's came and decided to change their life, turn their life over. There's probably people watching that's already been baptized, so you know, I'm sure there's people that's watching that hadn't been, you know, that's wondering. But like, I wish they quit just wondering and just do it, and that ain't gotta be me doing it. You know, it'd be fine. It's just our seeds. We gotta plant seeds in people. As Christians, we need to plant little bitty seeds here and there in people to bring them towards the Lord. But it says, "The coming of the Lord is at hand." Now, at hand, people that don't really believe in this are like, "Oh, it should doesn't happen," blah blah blah. But but we're waiting, and we don't know. Like at hand could be 10,000 years, because you got to understand the God that we serve is an eternal God. So 100 years is nothing to Him. 100 years isn't nothing to Him. 100 years isn't nothing to us, because we live. We'll either spend the rest of our life in heaven with God, or the rest of our life in hell with the devil. So it's you know, time. You know, it seems like time just isn't really what we really think it is. I'm gonna go to verse 9 now. "Do not grumble against one another, brethren, lest you be condemned. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. My brethren, take the prophets whom spoke in the name of the Lord as an example of suffering and patience. Indeed, we count them blessed who endure. You have heard of the perseverance of Job." I told you. "And seen the end intended by the Lord. And the Lord is very compassionate and merciful." So it's just, you know, this is like capping off the Job thing. You know, I did probably 5 or 6 lessons on the book of Job, and now the first book I go to in this Bible, he brings up Job. So you know, it's just letting me know that that's where God wanted me. You know, God gave me confirmation this morning that I'm doing what He needs me to do, and I'm where He needs me to be. And you know, I've still got a lot of work to do. We as a society have a lot to do. You know, it's just I love God. I love God with all my heart, and I just try to please Him. And not, you know, there's days that I don't please Him. There's times that I do wrong that I shouldn't. You know, and it just sucks because I don't want to do things that hurts God. I want to do things that please Him, and I think that everybody that's a Christian should be on that same thought process. It's hard though, man. We live in this flesh, and it's hard to do it, man. Like what we've seen in Job, all the stuff he endured. Can you say that you would have been so, and you know, so good. Could have you handled it as good as Job? I know for me, I don't think I could have. I might could have handled it better than some people, but I still would have been. If I would have handled it, I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I don't think anybody can answer that question. I like to believe that I could handle it as good as Job, or close to what how he handled it, but I don't know. The answer is I don't know, and that's something I need to work on. I need to work on to where I know that I could handle it like Job. That I know that I can trust God to as much as Job did. That's something that just got revealed to me. Like we need to work on being able to know what we're going to do in a situation. All right, I'm going to go to verse 12. But above all, my brethren, do not swear either by heaven or by earth or with any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no, no, lest you fall into judgment. So he's saying, if you're going to do something, and you tell somebody you're going to do something, you better do it. And not take no other oath, except above all, brethren, do not swear either by heaven or earth or with any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no, no, lest you fall into judgment. So, I don't know. It's just, sometimes people let us down. And this is about us not letting people down. I know I've let people down before, and I know that anybody out here watching, there's not one person on this earth that hasn't let somebody down at some point in their life. And what God's telling us here is that we shouldn't be doing that. If we tell somebody we're going to do something, we better well do it. You know, no matter the hurt it causes us or the pain. But sometimes stuff costs us a little more. Like, you know, sometimes it's costs us money. Sometimes it costs us time. Sometimes it costs us emotions. But if we said we're going to do it, we need to make a way of making it happen, no matter the cost to us. If we say we're going to do something, we better do it. Because Jesus gave His life for us, and we don't need to be going around lying to people, telling them we're going to do this and that, and then not do it. So I'm going to verse 13. If anyone among you suffering, let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing psalms. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. I'm going to stop right there. So I'm going to tell a little story. I don't believe I've ever told it here on this. I had a business partner. He got caught. I'm not even gonna. I don't think I'm gonna bring his name up. He's dead now, so it probably wouldn't matter. He had won some money gambling, like a lot of money. I think it was like $10,000 or something. He won I think he was shooting dice, or they was playing cards or something. It was like 10 grand. Well, somebody followed him back to his house and knocked on the door and stuck a 12 gauge to his chest and shot him. From what I was told, he crawled to the neighbor's house, rang the doorbell, and they life flighted him. Well, he was in a coma. Me and my dad, I had Dad drive me up there to go see him. I don't remember why I had Dad do it, probably because I was just in. Me and Dad went to the hospital to check on him. But he was in a coma when we went up there, and they said it didn't look good. It didn't look good. I think he's in a coma about 2 months or so. I know that I wasn't I was running the streets at this time, and for some reason, Dad and Mom asked me if I wanted to go to church on New Year's Eve, and they've never had. I've never been to church on New Year's Eve, and I've never heard of anybody. This is a church that I didn't really attend, but maybe once before. It was a small little church. I forget the name of the road, but it was. Anyways, it was a church out in the middle of nowhere, a little small church, and they was having some kind of thing. We stayed there for New Year's Eve to the midnight, strike of midnight or something. Well, I remember going up there and getting anointed with oil for this guy, because he was a dear friend. He wasn't just a business partner; he was a dear friend. He would have done near anything that I needed him to do. I mean, he never told me no. Let's put it that way. If I asked him for something or asked him to do something, he was one of the only persons that I could say that just was a true friend. Even though we was doing wrong together, he was a true friend. Anyways, I got anointed with oil. That little New Year's Eve deal at church. In that moment, I don't know if it was that moment, but from what I understood, he woke up, and it was around that time. So I believe in my heart, as soon as that preacher hit me with that oil, he woke up out of the coma. Now, me and him had got into we got into one argument over the whole time we was to get friends. Got over it because I said some stuff I shouldn't have said. It was really stupid. I was just anyways. He lived about 5 years after that, and ended up dying in a car wreck. And I just I don't know. I know his daddy was a preacher, I believe. It was either his daddy or his uncle. I think it was his daddy. I think maybe it was his uncle. It's been some years, and there was a lot of stuff going on during there. I pray that I see him again. I don't know, because we never did discuss that so much. We did discuss it some, but most of ours was about stuff that we wasn't supposed to be doing. So one in rap studio, he had a rap studio, and there's a lot of illegal activities going on, and I was involved heavily with a lot of that stuff that was going on. I'm not proud of it, but I know that this right here was talking about the anointing with oil. I know there's power in it. I know it works. Nobody can tell me anything different. The Word of God says it, and I've seen it witnessed with my own eyes. I'm not going to tell you that somebody's dying of cancer. You go get, and it's going to do it. It did it for me. I had that much faith, though. I think it was the faith. For some reason, when I was so lost and so confused, that I had so much faith at that point that it was going to work. I got up and I did it, and it worked. So faith has to come along with all this. So I'm going to go to verse 15 now. And the prayer of the faith will save the sick. And the prayer of the faith will save the sick. See, I just said that. And the Lord will rise him up, and if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Confess your trespasses to one another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The effective, fervent prayer of the righteous man avails much. Elijah was a man, hold on, I'm going to read that again. The effective, fervent prayer of the righteous man avails much. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. And it did not rain on the land for 3 years and 6 months. And he prayed again, and the heavens gave rain, and the earth produced fruit. So there again, we're going into prayers and how important they are, and how important they are from the person they're coming from. You know, each person has their own walk with God. Each person has their own relationship with God. And you got some people, there's got different levels of connectivity with God. You've got the people that has no connection. You've got the people, see, this scale is like 0 to 10. Let's put 0 to 10 on this connectivity scale. And this is just something, just it's not real, but it's just me trying to explain where this is. So like the person with a 0 is like somebody that doesn't believe they're an atheist. You got a person that's on 1 that's believes a little bit, but they don't do nothing about it. Like they believe maybe Jesus, and they're on the fence. The 1s are on the fence, 2s are on the fence, 3s are on the fence, but maybe the 3s are getting closer to making a step. You know, you keep going up a ladder. Well, Elijah was on a 10. Elijah was 10 out of 10 on the thing. So Elijah prayed for it not to rain, and it didn't rain. When he prayed for it to rain again, it rained. It was a whole thing. Maybe that's the next lesson I need to do, the story on Elijah and the rain. I would like to stay in the New Testament a little bit longer, but maybe that's where God's got me. Maybe God's got me to go to that book of Elijah, or not the book of Elijah, but the story of where he's talking about this. I really believe that's where it is. So you'll probably hear about that story next week. You know, it's just coinciding with all this stuff. So what we need to do is we need to stay in prayer and pray for our friends, man. You know, pray for our friends and ask for prayer from our friends. And you know, the oil is a very important thing. I don't know if my church does it or not. I know the church I grew up in did it. The Nazarenes believe in it. The Nazarenes do it. You know, I'm going to verse 19 now. Brethren, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone quit it. My brethren, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone turns him back, let him know that he who turns a sinner from the error of his way will save a soul from death and cover a multitude of sins. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm going to read this again. My brethren, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone turns him back, let him know that he who turns a sinner from the error of his way will save a soul from death and cover a multitude of sins. Has any of y'all wandered away from the truth? That maybe you was deep into this word at some point, or maybe you was pushing. You know, you was doing something big. Like you was strong with God. If you have, please come back home. If you've wandered away, please come back home. Please get back in church. Get back into the community with the Christians. Get back doing what you was doing. Please, because like you could be the person that saves another person. we all have to work together in this community to work towards helping other people. And I know that my buddy Greg, he would call me out, and like it was, you know, it made me mad sometimes. But in the day, you know, maybe a couple days later, I'd realize, you know, Greg's right, or maybe it even took 6 months or a year sometimes for me to realize Greg was right. Greg was right for calling me out. We need friends like that. We need friends that'll talk to us and call us out on our BS. You know, and if somebody's did that and just pissed you off and you've decided you want to get away from that, then reconcile, you know, because that person trying to save your soul from hell, trying to be a good brother or sister. So, I don't know, it's just, this is good stuff. I'm glad I got in this because this is really good stuff, and I love people. I love God. I don't want to see nobody in hell. If you haven't been baptized, I beg of you to make that step happen. Now's the time. Not 10 years from now, not right before you die. Right now is the time to do it. I beg and plead of y'all, if you haven't been baptized, let's just make it happen. Get a hold of me or get back in the church. But the church talking about that, we'll say a little prayer like run from that church as far as you can, because that prayer don't exist. Some dude named Billy Sunday made that prayer up, and it's a false gospel. It's a lie from the pit of hell, and there's no too many people that's went to hell because they believe that little lie. That's a lie, man. God, Jesus himself got baptized. He showed us the way, and I just pray that each and every one of y'all heeds the warning and get back into the church, get back into the right life, the right mindset, and the right friends. So I just want to tell each and every one of y'all I love y'all and appreciate y'all for spending y'all's time watching and listening. And I pray that you got something out of it and you can spread it to the next person. I ask all this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.